Carmen, you're live with counsel.
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. I've been listening to this meeting. I'm a 45-year Southern California resident, and I've heard people, call the protesters racist and violent and all these names. And what I've seen is that these people are protesting for freedom for everyone. Every single person in America right now has been under a little bit of tyrannical rule the last year. And people and small businesses especially have been hit the hardest. And there is no law and no mandate that is valid or legal that says that anybody has to close their doors at all. So the fact that people are standing up for their rights to have their business open and their right to make money for their family, that's not something to be frowned upon. I'm listening to people calling in, crying, being afraid of these protesters, and these protesters are not the violent, I don't know what you think these protesters are, but I've seen BLM and Antifa beating up people for a year or more. But I have not seen the same thing at Tin Horn Flats. If people want to make money, they deserve to be open. They have every right to stay open. And it's absolutely insane that you would not let businesses open if they want to be open. Are we not adults and we can make decisions for ourselves, or do we have to have big government get bigger and tell us how to live our lives, where to go, and what to do? If I want to walk into a restaurant and have dinner and take my risk of getting a cold or tripping and falling on my face or getting burned on a hot stove if I'm cooking something, that is my right as a human being. There are risks when I leave my house. No matter what, there are risks. And if I can also fly on an airplane with 200 people, shoulder to shoulder.
Mayor, we've exceeded our 2-minute limit.
Ma'am, thank you for your input, but your 2 minutes are over. Next caller, please.
Our next caller is anonymous. Ma'am, you may begin speaking.
Hi, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. Did you have a specific question for me before I said what I wanted to say?
No, ma'am. We don't go back and forth, but this is your opportunity to have 2 minutes to address the council on this issue. We are listening.
Copy that. First of all, I want to say that if I've been following this for a bit, and if the restaurant has been in the wrong, I agree with everything that they should be held accountable for that. With that said, this whole thing has brought a lot of anxiety into my life because they've been protesting on my street, and I'm really not comfortable leaving my apartment and stuff when there's these really angry, upset people out and about. I've seen pictures of the restaurant boarded up where they're using profanity and stuff, and they're listing specific council members' names, and it's very stressful, and whatever you guys can do to alleviate them being in the neighborhoods and on people's streets where they live, I would really appreciate that, because I don't want to be around such anger and everything over this. But I do think that if they're in the wrong, of course I feel like they should be held accountable. But I don't want any of this to come back on people trying to live their life in our neighborhoods. That's all I wanted to say. It really upsets me. They've been here twice, and I think I saw on Twitter that they're doing another protest tomorrow, and I just don't want them coming up here. If you guys could just do something to keep them out of the neighborhoods. That's all I really wanted to say.
Thank you for your call, ma'am. Thank you. Next caller, please.
Our next caller is Tom Jefferson II. Tom, you may begin speaking.
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you very much. First of all, Constantine Anthony and the rest of you guys at the Burbank City Council, you claim that Tin Horn Flats is breaking the law. Well, here it is. The business is his property. The government ordering him to close or limit his operation is theft. and it's deprivation of rights, which is a felony under Title 18, Section 242. No governor or health officer has the authority to shut down your business without the due process of law. There is no law prohibiting you from serving your patrons in or outdoors or the number of patrons. Say no to bullies. You guys are just being big bullies in an old mob. You guys are like the mafia. No emergency order supersedes your rights protected by the Constitution. The alleged laws the restaurant broke has been lifted. Other areas like Ventura have dropped lawsuits and waived the fees and the fines. Why has Constantine Anthony and the rest of you jerks not done the same? Churches in California did sue illegal shutdown laws and won in the Supreme Court. Burbank, you guys, the city council continues wasting your tax dollars on attorney fees, locking out a family-owned small business. This guy, he's a young guy, and his family needs this business, okay? And we're not going to stop till every one of you Burbank City Council members are revoked and you guys are canceled, okay? We're going to do everything in our power to remove you guys. We don't want you in the office. You violated your oath of office for the last time. This is a warning. We are not stopping until all of you guys are resigned or removed in some fashion. Do you understand what I'm saying? You guys are disgusting human beings. You're picking on this kid for no reason, and it's unlawful, and we're not going to stand for it. We are not going to stop you guys until you guys are removed from office. Okay?
Mayor, we've exceeded our 2-minute limit.
Thank you, sir, for your input. Your 2 minutes are over. Next caller, please.